This is the ready part of 1.4, and we're looking at the function f of n equals 5n plus 8. That f is just a name for the function. N is the variable. So if we look down below that first part, we can see this 4. And we can see how they replaced n with 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this n and replace it with a 4. But if I replace that n with a 4, I also have to replace this n with a 4. But we don't want 54. So anytime that you take out a variable, you need to make sure you're going to put parentheses around it. So now we have 5 times 4, which is 20, and then plus 8, so we're going to get 28. So what all of that means is if I plug 4 in for n, or substitute it in, I will get the answer 28. Now, if we wanted to try a different variable, we can easily do that. Get rid of the things that we did to get 28. And actually we want to keep 28 up here. But if we look at this variable, now we can see that they replaced n with -2. So I can go ahead and plug in that -2, and I can plug that -2 in here. But we want to make sure we don't forget our parentheses. Now with those parentheses ready, we're ready to solve this. So we have 5 times -2, which is -10, plus 8. So I'm going to end up with -2. You can, if you want, plug everything in after the equal sign into a calculator, including the parentheses, and it will give you the answer. So if I erase some of this, we know that f of -2, once we got that all solved, it equaled -2. Now if we look at this at number 5, n is in the exponents, but we're still going to do the same thing. We replaced n with 2, so I'm going to get rid of this n and replace it with 2. But if I get rid of that n and replace it with 2, I also have to get rid of this n and replace it with 2. And now I told you that you got to put parentheses. Now it's not critical for this one, but it's good practice to get into that mode. If you were to plug it into the calculator like this with those parentheses, it would still work. So now we have 5 squared. So in this case, we don't need those parentheses. So let me show you what I mean. We could write it the same as that. So 5 squared is 25. So we know if we plug a 2 in, our answer is 25. But then we can replace all of this with the 3 right here. So I can plug a 3 in. I wanted to do that red. And I can replace the n up here with a 3. So now we have 5 to the 3rd power, which if you plug that into the calculator, you will get 125. So we know that f of 3 equals 125.